Hello, coaches! In today's bonus Coach Better Spotlight episode, Clint and I are talking about an awesome new resource we've created here at Eduro Learning. You already know you can find our Coach Better episodes on COACHBETTER.tv, but now you can also find all of our resources for instructional coaches there too. From videos to infographics to digital downloads to the courses we offer. In this video, we explore exactly how you can use all of those resources with your colleagues at your school so you can continue to coach better this year. All right, welcome back to a bonus episode of Coach Better. At Eduro Learning, we've been working on a resource for coaches that I was really excited about, so I wanted to get Clint's feedback, so I shared it with him. And as we started talking about it, we realized it might be worth us having a quick conversation on the actual podcast to kind of talk you through this exciting resource that we are super pumped about.
All right, so I got to say, when you first shared this with me on the new COACHBETTER.tv website, I got to say I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Thank you.
But give us a little background, like why have you created it? What are you hoping people are going to get out of it? And let's kind of walk people through what's there.
So one of the main questions we get all the time from coaches is, where can I go that's like a one-stop shop for all of the resources that you're creating around coaching? And you know, we love getting those questions. We get them in our Facebook group. We get them on Twitter. We get them all over the place. And it was starting to feel like we didn't have that one central place for people. So that's kind of where this came from. We wanted to create a one-stop shop, which is COACHBETTER.tv/start, that has all of our coaching-related resources all organized by main themes that coaches might be interested in diving deeper into.
So let's go back a second here, just kind of asking for a friend. If people did want to send some questions or get in contact with you, how might they be able to?
So listeners and viewers reach out to us all the time. They reach out to us on Twitter. My handle is @MissCafino and you're @Chamada. Or they come to us through @Eduro Learning, or they come to us through our Facebook Coach Better group, or even comments on our videos. Any way that you can find us is a great way to get in touch with us. We're not too picky right now. We just love to hear from you.
All right, so people send these questions to you. You collect them on your Facebook page or on the Twitter comments or in the YouTube comments, and then that helps kind of generate what some of the resources are. Is that right?
Exactly. So we get all these different questions, and I also try to make sure that I'm listening to what coaches are saying in a variety of different communities, because sometimes it's inspiring to hear what people are talking about beyond the scope of our little kind of Coach Better world. And several individual people actually reached out and said, why don't you just consolidate this all together, make it easy for coaches? So that's why we created COACHBETTER.tv/start.
Right. And so I'm already thinking about how can I share this with my colleagues? How can I share this with people in my network? And how can I sort of drive them to some of these questions? Because I think a lot of these questions and a lot of these resources keep coming up over and over again. People are kind of getting to these points at different times, right? Like sometimes you're ready for the question now, and sometimes you didn't realize you're ready for the question in 3 weeks' time. And I love that, you know, you have the time to come back and process and think about, oh, I listened to Kim and Clint and whoever that guest may be talk about that 3 weeks ago. Something's just happened, and now I want to come back and listen to that again because, you know, to return to that resource is going to be really helpful right now.
Absolutely. And that's why we built it. We wanted to kind of consolidate everything for people. And hopefully coaches have a trusted advisor or a colleague on campus or a few that would make this resource a really wonderful opportunity for some professional learning. And as you know, Clint, we're big on trying to provide coaches with resources that are all about sustainable growth. So that idea of coming back to resources over time, and for us to keep adding resources as we dig deeper into these questions that come up again and again, this coachbetter.tv/start will always be updated with all the resources we have around those specific topics. So that means as we get deeper, more meaningful questions about different topics, we can add more content to these pages as well.
So how do you see viewers and listeners maybe interacting with some of the content that's on these pages?
I think probably the first thing would be to have a look and see what's interesting or inspiring to you right now. What do you want to dig deeper into? And then each page actually has a variety of different resources. There's a section that has all of the videos that are related to this topic, including our Coach Better Spotlights, our 5-Minute Fridays, our series like the Coaching Fundamentals, as well as the actual podcast episodes, which are longer than the spotlights. And then there's a section for our blog posts that highlight that same kind of content, a section for our digital downloads, both free and paid. So if you prefer to read, you prefer to listen, you prefer to watch, you kind of get everything there. And then once you know this is something you really want to dig deeper into, there's lots of opportunities to take your learning further with online courses or workbooks, or even joining our Microcredential, the coach that we offer once a year.
So thinking about all the stuff that's out there, all the stuff that you've put together, you and the team, Chrissy and all, and Lissa and everyone, and Trisha, what's been the toughest bit of that resource for you to put together, and why?
I think probably understanding how to consolidate that content in a way that makes sense for someone who's not us, because we're so deep into it and we have all these ideas about all the things we want to create, but we really want to make it easy for others to access and understand. So it's not necessarily the content on the inside, because that's like exciting and fun. I get to do that with you. I get to do that with my other colleagues at Eduro and be inspired by all the different people I talk to, but actually making it something that makes sense to others was probably the hardest part, I would say. When you have a look at it, what do you think would be most relevant for you or the coaches that you work with at this time of year?
Wow. Just having a look through everything that's there, I think for colleagues that I'm working with and that I'm interacting with face-to-face and online, I think the coaching conversations and how do you have better coaching conversations, I think a lot of the discussions that we have and a lot of the support that we have for one another is helping coaches to further their own craft. And it's great to have so many models and exemplars and things to think about what to do and maybe even what not to do when you hear like somebody did that and you're like, oh, that would never work in my situation because blah, blah, blah. But that might then challenge you to think about, or would it? Like, what could I do to maybe bring that into my repertoire? And I think in a lot of coaching situations, it's really about having the tools and the skills quickly at hand and hearing people talk about what they're doing and having all the great examples that people share about how they're building relationships and how they're helping people to really reflect on their practice, just helps me keep that in my mind so that when I have that conversation with somebody else, I'm like, oh yeah, I might want to try and practice some of these skills, or I might want to bring it up in this particular way. And I think, that's something that all coaches are always looking at, because again, from that coaching mindset, like nobody's ever like, I'm the perfect coach. I know how to do this anytime, right? Coaches naturally are thinking about how can I make this better? Or what can I make those incremental changes? How can I make these exponential changes? And it just gives lots of ideas for people to think about.
Awesome. And we would love to invite you, CLINT, and your team, and you, our listeners and viewers, to share back your thinking. What are you thinking as you use these resources? What were you thinking when you started? What are you thinking now? What kind of conversations did you have? Take a video and tweet it out, or write a blog post, or send us a tweet or an email, or even some pictures of the thinking that has been inspired from these resources. We would love to hear from you. We always love to hear from you. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Introducing our new resource, COACHBETTER.tv/start. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Check it out. Let us know what you think, and we will keep adding to it over time. So bookmark it and come back to it for more awesome Coach Better resources collated by the Eduro Learning Team. Thanks for listening. Did you enjoy today's episode? Then you will love the Coach Microcredential program. We know because our current participants are always sharing their feedback with us, and we ask them to share their experiences with you.
I'd really advise anyone interested in taking the coach to take the plunge and go for it.
So do it, and you might regret it. Yeah, you'll really enjoy it. It's a valuable experience.
So
I say go for it. Definitely take the coach. I couldn't recommend it more.
So I'd highly recommend it. I would definitely suggest you try and join to really help you develop your professional coaching skills.
But overall, this course is fantastic because it's made me feel awesome. It's made me feel excited for my future. It's given me really great skills to help others, and hopefully I can help others to feel the same way.
So I highly recommend it.
If I were to give any piece of advice or message to future cohort members, it is to take the course. If you are on the fence, please take it.
When you're ready to learn more about the coach, click on the link below or reach out to us at Eduro Learning on any of our social media platforms. Registration for our next cohort opens soon. Don't miss it. Expand your professional learning network, dive deep into 26 weeks of curated coaching content, and get your own private mentor for an entire academic year. We can't wait to work with you. Are you ready to take your coaching skills to the next level? Join the next cohort of The Coach and make it happen.